Hi guys, Sharper back once again with another minting box for TokuToyStore.com, and today we're looking at Kamen Rider Cross Z Charge, which is Ryuga Banjo's second form in Kamen Rider Build. I'll admit, this is not my favourite form. In fact, I can't stand this suit. I think it's ugly as sin, and it pales in comparison to both his first form and the form that would follow it. But I'll give it a fair shake and we will see how the review goes. For now, the box is a very pleasing mix of blue and grey. Very nice overall. I think it really matches the figure well and is just a pleasing colour scheme overall. On the back we have the majority of the Build RKF line as well as a singular Zeo, and it just goes to show that there's a lot of cool forms in Build, and here is Cross Z Charge in figure form, and it's okay. Like I said, not a big fan of this form, and the limitations of the RKF line do not help it in my estimation. That said, because it's an RKF figure, it's still a very good toy. It has all the usual articulation you can come to expect from the RKF line, that has a ton of potential and posability options. You just have to play around with it for yourself to get the full idea. But it's a good baseline figure, but there are some caveats with that notion, because unfortunately it's prone to some popping off issues. Now, I don't mean the fun kind, I mean the kind that just get annoying. I've played with this figure for a little bit, and maybe it's because I've got big hands, but I'm constantly popping bits off, and the face mask especially pops off at any kind of pressure. It's ridiculous. I'm unsure if that's because of a line wide problem or if it's just this particular version that I have, but it's something to be aware of, because while I wasn't a big fan of the grease toy, I did appreciate that it held together very well. Its horn, the horn on grease especially, was prone to popping off, but not anywhere near as bad as that. The details are pretty nice on this figure, however. The whole crystalline face mask and torso emblem are pretty nice. They're cool effects and they do well despite the limitations of a figure in this price point. It comes across very nice and gives this suit the desired effect that it should have from the show. Just like how I realised that Grease's shoulder pads are little Capri Sun-esque drink bags, cartons, whatever. Cross Z Charge has the same thing, except his are a lot more boxy and they just look overly full. I do like the attention to detail on the Splash driver. If I turn this upside down, you can even see that it does have a tiny little dragon on its juice box. In terms of accessories, this figure comes with a nice array. You have the twin breaker in its blaster configuration, which is held on pretty nicely for saying that the figure doesn't have a peg hand. It just has a very firm, tight grip on the weapon, and sometimes that's all you really need. And it comes across very, very well. And it's one of the most secure weapon holding hands in the line by far. Even the peg ones sometimes aren't as good as this holding in. Like, this isn't going anywhere. That's fantastic. And in terms of alternate hands, if I just take his holding things hands off, he comes with a splayed open reachy hand and a bog standard fist. And I believe these are pretty much the same you get with Cross Z and Cross Z Magma, because if there's one thing that Build's favourite Punch Boy likes to do, it's flex. While I might not be the biggest fan of this form, I can say that it is a solid addition to the RKF line and probably a must-have for any Build collector getting into the RKF line, because you want to have one of each of everyone's forms, right? I mean, you have to, especially at a cheap price point. And you can pick up your Cross Z Charge from TokuToyStore.com for £24.99. As always, I've been Sharpo. This has been Kamen Rider Cross Z Charge. And I'll catch you guys next time for another Mint in Box.